Is that what I'm going with? Yeah, that's the review I'm going with. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's Natasha and welcome back to this week's video. I am sorry for the very much delay in some of my videos. The end of June, July, it's just one hell of a hectic week. So I am trying my utmost best to fall back in place with everything that I have to do. But yeah, this week I am finally doing my June wrap up. It has taken me a while, but I'm here. I'm doing it. So before we get started, please remember to like the video, subscribe, comment down below how many books you read in June, or if you are a new reader, I don't know, what was your most favorite activity you did in June? And without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. If there's a bit of a camera change, I had to because my dogs are just jumping up and down. So yeah. But first, I was thinking maybe we should look at some stats of how many books I read. I did not read a lot, but it's quite interesting to see what the stats are for the month of June. And for that, I'm going to go to Storygraph.
A few moments later.
Okay, after trying to sort out Storygraphs for like what seems forever, it just doesn't want to, but I'll see if I can fix it on mobile. But House of Sky and Breath, I only updated my Storygraphs on July the 2nd, and now it doesn't want to accept the fact that I read House of Sky and Breath the end of June. Don't know why, but we're still going to go with my stats because Storygraph is sometimes just funky. So I've read 5 books for the month of June, and it also means it is over 2,000 pages for this month. The overall mood is adventurous, mysterious, dark, and emotional. My pace is, what is that? 25% fast and 75% medium. Page number, I'm just going to put it here because I'm half blind and I can't see what's on the screen. And then it's purely fiction. I don't read non-fiction. The format I read, it's actually the other way around. I read 2 imprints and the rest are digital. My average rating for this month is 4.5, which I guess it's not bad. Anyway, so the first book I read was The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. And this book follows 6 magicians. They are the world's best musicians. They are musicians who are magicians. We follow the world's 6 best magicians, and they are chosen to be part of the Alexandrian Society. And what this entails is their magic is so unique that they can become part of this society and contribute to the society for the next generation of magicians. But once they get to the Alexandrian Society or the Alexandrian Library, they discover that they have been lied to. And some of the things that they were promised, they have to work for. And it's a very dark and twisted way of working for it. Overall, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It does entail like a dark academia vibe. It's just the chapters were very long. Some of them were just too long for me and I didn't enjoy it. I love it when chapters are quick and fast and they flow into each other. I understand why Olivia Blake did the long chapters, but there are points in the story where I just felt like it was dragging and I wanted to get to the end. I wanted the plot twist to hit me like that, and it took a long time for the plot twist to come. But I did enjoy the writing style. It is very, if you like romanticism, it is kind of like that. It just doesn't delve very deep into the dark academia. It's more character-based and what happens in the characters' lives than what it is kind of dark academia. Is it worth the hype that is given on TikTok? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not the person to make that decision. It is enjoyable. It's just not as great as I thought it would be. The second book I read was a manga, and it's Witch and Wizard. It was originally written by James Patterson, and then it was apparently developed into a manga. That is what I'm getting, but I only read volume 1. And I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I knew what the story entailed. I just enjoyed the different format that I was reading. But basically, we follow our witch and our wizard, Wisty and Wit, And they are discovering a world of magic, and they are discovering that their magic has been dormant for quite some time because their parents have never told them that they were magical. And once the order comes and the order comes to execute them, they are whisked away to a place where they are basically sentenced until they are executed. So there they have to do a lot of hard labor, and they discover what kind of powers they have in order for their execution to be just the right execution. It's a very dystopian type of world as well, where everything goes to and there is just this one person who wants to make life perfect again. It is situated around prophecies as well. It is a 5-book series, and I believe the manga is also 5 books. I believe each manga entails each book. So if you read the book, you don't have to read the manga unless you want, the enjoyable pictures with it. I did enjoy the book, but I probably won't pick up the next manga. I think I would much rather prefer reading the books. The 3rd book I read was Haunted by Kelly Armstrong. This is part of my whole spiel of trying to read Kelly Armstrong's books before the end of this year, and this book follows our former supernatural and also former witch Eve Levine. She was unfortunately killed in like the 2nd book of the Women of the Underworld series, but we follow her in the afterlife and how she's trying to navigate and how she's trying to find a way back to her daughter who's still in the living world. But then the fates call her in for a favor that she owes them, and she unfortunately has to set aside her, can I say, adventure to find a way to her daughter, and that she is set on this adventure where she's trying to capture the underworld's most dangerous half-demon that has escaped into the living world. And they are placing all their hope on her, and there's a sacrifice that she has to make. Is she going to allow this thing to sever the relationship between her and her daughter, or is she just going to go forth and try and save her daughter from this horrid half-demon? And it was very enjoyable. I love Kelly Armstrong's writing. She just has this way of bringing characters to life, and gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. The 4th book I read was House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, and this book follows our main girl, Bryce Quinlan, and she's party girl by night, and she works full-time all day. And she's enjoying her life, she's living the best life she can until her best friend and, well, basically all her best friends are killed in this harrowing massacre in her own apartment. And the man who is allegedly the one behind the killings is again put behind bars. 2 years later, the same killings start up again, and she's teamed up with this archangel called Hunt Athalar, and they are tasked to investigate the murders and whatever conspiracy goes around these murders. Can I just say this is a very dense book. This has a lot of world building in it, a lot of new terms that you have to come to know about this whole world. But overall, what I can say is it's a very enjoyable read. I did enjoy the plot twist that came with it. I didn't expect the killer to be who it was. I don't want to say much because my head is still full of this book, so I might give away spoilers, and I don't want to do that. I want you to go in blindly, and I want you to enjoy this book thoroughly. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Completely enjoyable. It was part on that par of Sarah J. Maas books. Then the 5th and final book I read was House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. I also tabbed it a lot. There's a lot of things happening around this book, and I can understand why a lot of people hate it, and I can understand also why a lot of people love it. I'm on the middle spectrum. I love the beginning, and I adored the end, mainly because it's left me on the edge of my seat, and I really want to know what's going to happen next. But the middle felt like it was really dragging for me. It took me 2 weeks to finish this book, and I was so tired after finishing this book. It was very exhausting to read. What's new about this book is it's more male point view than it is about Bryce. So she delves more into Hunt's side of the story and Tharion's side of the story, also Ethan's side of the story. Who else is there? Ruin is also in the spotlight a lot. But overall, I did enjoy the book. There were really funny moments in this book. It's not that the plot stagnated it anyway. It just feels like it was being dragged out too much. I don't know how to explain it. You have to read the book to understand. There was a certain point in the book where I just felt like, okay, you can take all of this, just shove it in the middle and be done with it. But Now that I sit and think about it, this is also an indication of how investigations go. They drag, they take their time, and sometimes for weeks things don't happen. But yeah, not much else I can say about this book apart from the fact that I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars because of the ending and because I want to know what's going to happen. I know that's not how you're supposed to rate it. Enjoyment wise, I'll give it a 4. Plot wise and story wise, I'll give it a 3, if that makes any sense. The ending itself, it paves the way for so much. But yeah, those are the 5 books I read in June. I believe I would have gotten some more in if I didn't drag my feet with House of Earth and Blood. No? Sky and Breath, the blue one. But anyway, I'll see you guys in a video next week. Bye!